Okay, guys, my name is Murad Alkufash. I'm from Marda, Permaculture Farm, Palestine. I get involved in this project or in permaculture in general since 1993 when we start our first project there. And then I start my new project in 2006. What's called now Marda Permaculture Farm. It's a branch for the GVI, the Global Veg Institute. And today I'm going to give you some slideshow about the farm, how we start, what we did there, what problems we have, and stuff like this. So this map showing the location of Marda in Palestine. It's it's Google Earth map. And this is another one. So I came from Marda, a small village in the Sulfite districts of West Bank. My family and neighbors have farmed the Marda regions for thousands of years. This slides for located for Marda, what it look like, and we have behind the settlement of Ariel. Traditional practices like terracing held nutrients and moisture in the soil, making it fertile and abundant. That's one of the things we do, especially like the farmers. Palestinian farmers, they usually, all of them farmers. We never do something else. Since the occupation, people start change to be farmers, and they start do construction. And we have a lot of people that travel around. Some people, they got immigrant to another country. So people, they abandoned their land, and we have like less farmers now. This overlook for the town from away. And you see here like how we do terracing. People, they used to do terracing. We have a lot of crops. Like my area is famous with the olives. It's like the most area they have crops in the West Bank. We have trees out more than 1,000 years old. Some kind of these trees, olives. So the land was owned communally. We cared for our olive trees and gardens together. So we used to grow olives, fig trees, fruit trees, vegetables, winter crops, summer crops. That's where we have the village next to the mountain. Where's the mountain now is we have the biggest settlement. It's called Ariel. They took more land. All this mountain belonged to the village, and we used to farm the land there with winter crops mostly. And these crops keep the people busy all the summer, take care of this, to do this process, and to have the weeds, the sawdust for their animals. So they keep busy all the summer. They have nothing to do except these things for the whole year. Now we have a fence, like this fence, between the village and the settlement, that we cannot go to that area no more. We lost all the mountains, and the land is very small land now we have there. This is the impact of the occupation. In this slide, as you see, we have a flood. This flood is not raining, only raining water. These floods come from the sewage, come from the settlement. They run their sewage in the winter time, mixing with the street water. They gather together and they dump it into the village. Like my house, my brother's house, all our neighborhoods, every year we get flooded with this water. As you see in these slides here, the water go underneath the house, or the basics of the house, the foundation. The house I use as accommodation is got covered with water, and we have collapse in the walls. Like it needs thousands of dollars to maintain the house again from this water. These my neighbors, they try to build a bridge just to cross to go to their house from this water. This is sewage. Somebody else will say this, we have a good flow of water, or we have a river. No, this is sewage. This year we was watching them when they opened the pipe, and this water just come one time and did all this erosion, all this damage for the terracing we have in this mountain, and take all the soil down, flooding the houses by this water. And polluted, we have a spring next to it, next to the street, and this spring is got polluted from this water too. Our aquifer is being drained by the Israeli settlements of sulfate. Much of our land has been taken, and garbage and sewage are dumped into our village, as I said through these slides here. Farmers are told they must use chemicals, fertilizer, or hybrid seeds. Since the occupation, people they lost because they lost the way to be in their land. So the occupation encouraged them, and they support them with this kind of fertilizers or hybrid seeds. And at the same time, they took all the seeds that we used to have between the farmers, the native seeds that they grow since thousands of years in our land. They live in different type of climate, like since thousands of years. Now it's very difficult to find this kind of seeds. I cannot find them. I have to go around all the towns from the old people to try to find these seeds from them, but no more. This picture is from the first project where we will work. We do composting, and this is the compost area, and this is the nursery where we used to have there. So the Marda Training Center in 1991, a group of Australian, let's go back that one. In 1991, a group of Australian permaculture founded the Marda Training Center. Over the next 7 years, and the training center built a big permaculture site and trained many Palestinian farmers in permaculture design. I was trained and helped to build the site. The center was closed by 2001 because of the loss of the funds and destruction by the Israeli military. The Israeli military in 2001, they attacked the center, they shut down the center, and they make it a military zone. Nobody can go there, so that's why the center is shut down or is no more. Afterward, I spent 5 years in the US and summers as a permaculture instructor at the Eco Village Training Center at the farm in Summertown, Tennessee. And this picture for the farm there. Marda Permaculture Farm. The Marda Permaculture Farm is a model of permaculture practices in a small space, just a quarter acre. This is a good model for the Marda because people have very little land now compared to before, mostly backyard gardens. That was left, backyard gardens, small garden here, small garden there. The other land that we used to grow, our winter crops or summer crops is no more, we lost all of them. This, the land house looked like when I started building or established this project. It was full of rocks, no borders, no terrace, no fence, a few olives and a few almond trees. This is a design we did, me and Julie Firth, my first teacher from Australia. She came and we built this design for the farmhouse look like in the future. Then I started doing the terracing for the borders and building a fence. So as you see here, I have the fence with tires because it's not just the fence I need. I have problem with the pigs, wild pigs. It's released in our fields and they start getting into our lands to damage the crops that we have. Like my farm, they get into my farm for many times and I lost everything. So I find this way to get these tires and standing this way to stop the pigs get in. I got succeed with this. There's no more in my farm. So the Marda Permaculture Farm has traditional trusses, recycling tires, walls and gardens, plant guilds, orchards with fruits and nuts, a greenhouse, swales, a new beehive, chicken soup, compost system, a grape arbor. We use no chemicals or fertilizers. Everything's from the garden. We organized 3 successful workshops that attracts local farmers and agriculture engineers and international students. 2 of these were 2 full weeks of design course. Our instructors have been Jesse and Tanya. That's in 2008. We get them after the Starhawk was planning to come to do the course, but she got deported from the Israeli immigration. And Jesse and Tanya's Jeff students, they crossed the border from Jordan Valley, and they did the course with Young Banking Bank. Brad Lancaster from the US, David Spicer from Australia, and Ramis Kennett and Claudia Van Goor from UK. They just did the course in last April, and this was our second course. Brad Lancaster and David, they did the first course in last June, like 1 year ago. This is some pictures for what I have on the farm now. This is a chicken coop. I just finished building it with all the instructions. That's my kids. They was playing the farm last week when they took these pictures for me. So as you see, I have these vines. I have all the pathway where to walk, so you can walk in the shade. Like next year, we will have a shade on the top of you, no sun, all the fruit trees, the vegetables will be around you. International impacts. Throughout the year, and our workshop were tracked interns and volunteers from all over the globe to help with the farm and learn about the Palestinian culture and impact the occupation. An important part of what we do is raise awareness of the story of Palestine from a human perspective. We have had many news articles, video, and film written about us, which helps to raise awareness of our situation. The Marda Permaculture Farm is a model for other local farmers who ask me how farm. And this spring we received funding from a Fire Dole and Australian aid to help 10 families build 10 greywater systems and another 5 families with 5 beehives to help them with their life and to increase their input. Future plans. We host a BDC in this November. We will host a BDC in this November, like something about 25th of November, in partnership with the country of Norway and John Martin Bank. Next year, we will hope to raise funds to build a teaching center on site and to bring in more livestock. We hope to provide more technical assistance to farmers and families in Marda and all across Palestine. This slideshow I show here is for the farm, how I start from step by step, and this is the greenhouse, how I grow different type of crops there with different levels. Like I have climbing things like tomato, cucumbers, beans, onions, lettuce, radish, fennel, and saffron, or basil as for pest management, or different herbs plants to do the pest management stuff. This is the fennel in the greenhouse. And here it's like the farm would never have been a reality without all our international and local supporters, including co-founder Tammy Brank, international coordinator, Kaya Mechner, BDC coordinator, Wael Said, Albert Bates, and the Global Virgin Institute, permaculture designer Julie Firth, and Alex from Lutan, the UK Permaculture Guild, Jean Europe, Jeff and Nadia Lawton, and the Permaculture Research Institute of Australia, Starhawk, Fire Dole, CAR, Australia Aid, and too many others to count. If you would like to support, that's okay. That's later on. I go fast because I don't have enough minutes. We get late, so I was going fast with these things. So I go faster than the slideshow. And I think I'm ready to if they have any questions, so I can help to answer. Yeah.
How much do the farmers around your farm are influenced by your practices?
How much is what?
The farmers,
Yeah.
your colleagues speaking other tongues, how much are they influenced by your words?
I think exactly, but I think, like farmers, now as I said, they have only the backyards. Even who was planting or growing outside doors, like in the far away from the house, almost now they stop because we have the pigs. They come in the night, they damage everything. Even like the winter crops like wheat or barley or lentils, is almost now you come in the winter, you see that there's nothing. If they grow something, it's become difficult for them to harvest because it's like a carpet. The pigs they like to come in the night, lying down there, playing and eating the fruits or all the products. So people they start losing from these things. The other thing is the olives. Olives, as everybody knows, they have surface roots. So in March and April, this is the time for the tree to start to build this net of roots. So the pigs come and they start digging, looking for worms or something to eat. So they damage this net of roots. By time, the tree will lose this power that will give them feed, and they will start dying. As you know, the West Bank is open for, like we have, the settlement is protected with a fence, but not the town itself. We have a fence, but it's broke from here and here, so they can't get in. But the other fields is open, so they can do what they want.
And you're not allowed to do anything.
No, we cannot like shoot them because we have no guns. We cannot poison them, it's not easy. And if they stop you, they can sue you, like they can fine you. Because for them, it's environment, it's natural zoo. Or West Bank, for them, it's natural zoo. So you have just to live with this. And they attack people too. Like the pigs, if they catch you in the air, they attack you, they will harm you.
They're big. Actually, they're surprised.
They are big, huge like
They're
this.
surprisingly big. Like they look like something we would have in the American South. The day we went to Yasuf.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're proper wild pigs. Yeah. Yeah, but cool.
Where do they come from, these pigs?
They come from the Israeli side. Like we saw many times, a military lorry, they loading them next to the street, and sometimes they saw a chopper, like a helicopter, get down with two, male and female, and just release them in the towns. Because like I'm now 41 years old. I never ever saw this before. When I left America in 2001, we never saw this problem. When I back, I start hear about these stories. So then I start seeing them. Before, we never had this problem. Before, like in the back time, they used to have a little bit in the up north, like near Golan. They have a little bit, but how come they come to our area in like thousands of them? It's not just one or two or 100, thousands. And it's a big problem. It's a big environment problem now we have. And the sewage they dump from the mountain, they give him another place to live because they like to play with the mud. So this sewage make these areas like muddy, so they come and they do a lot of damage. Like in my farm, once they get in, they damage my crops. I get something around 500 lettuce and 500 cauliflower. They were ready to cut, to sell. They come one night, they finish everything. It took from me maybe 2 weeks to make this land ready to use. Because they compact the soil like stone. Because all the night they spend there playing, doing all the stuff, and they damage the soil. It took more than 2 weeks to make it ready again. Yeah, more questions? I think I have time, yeah? So can I show you a slide? Somebody can say it out loud?
What we say is the army does crazy things that I really don't support. Why? Because we see them all over Israel, in the Sharon, in Jerusalem, in Golan, in Galil.
Yeah, in Golan and Galil, yeah, because they used to grow there, because the Durzi, they eat them. They hunt them and they eat them.
They're in the center, they're near where I live. They're all over.
But in West Bank, we never saw them before.
Yeah, neither did we. I don't know.
Yeah, we never.
We need to
So,
check.
so the settlements, they have no problem because they have this fence. Surround all the settlements, they have no problem. But the Palestinian people, they have the problem now, and we live them every day, every night. Like if one night you be with somebody, like in somebody's house, and you go home, you can find, you will see them easy in the street, and maybe they will attack you easy.
Can they build a fence like you did? Can the other farm people who have
We have fence. Like my town is surrounded with a fence.
No, but how, like the way you did to your property?
But you cannot cover the whole West Bank with this fence. We have the wall already. It's enough. So would you like to put another fence?
But around the garden.
No, I'm talking about the outside gardens, not like the backyards, like the fields. Yeah, the fields.
We have them in California, not quite to that extent. They're not native. They're like pigs that have steak and bread with wild boar that we brought over from hunting, and they're very difficult to deal with because you build an ordinary fence and they just bulldoze right through it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You have to have something like yours that's reinforced.
well, and I know in recent years that there's been kind of a very widespread problem with wild feral pigs. That, funnily enough, and there was a program on the Discovery Channel about this. Apparently, there's a lot of the pigs are breeding with a Russian breed, and not to, and this isn't a stereotype of Russians, but yeah, exactly. But they say they're very aggressive. They say they're very aggressive and very smart. And I know, in the South, I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, there's a serious problem. I mean, millions of them all throughout the South. So
You know,
if you're a hunter, it's great.
Yeah, but they are clever too. They are clever.
Yeah, really.
Like some people, they try to poison the water, so they send the weakest one to drink. If he's still alive, it's okay. The second day, the third day, they drink all of them. But if he's dead, so they go away. So it's not easy like to put them like to have. There are hundreds. How many traps you can build, or how many? It's not easy. And we have another live animals, like we have. Wild animals like foxes and dogs. So if I poison the water or birds, if I put poison in this water, I can kill something else. And this is against our culture. Like we cannot kill the other animals.
And I mean, we have one of our neighbors. We got him shoot this boar that's in our garden, and he tried to shoot him, and if he had like a 22 rifle, the bullet just bounced right off his head.
Yeah, I mean, most of the folks that, and you can speak to this. A lot of the folks that'll hunt these wild pigs in the South use very large caliber handguns, or they bow hunt, very high.
But this we cannot have it in my country, as you know. If one bullet get out, they will shoot you right away from a rail. They are ready. Just that's it, finished. So it's not easy.
Yeah, we had success with the fence by running barbed wire around the bottom where they root, and that's how we got him out of our garden.
I have barbed wire, but 10 centimeters between, as I saw you in the pictures. But they go through it. They don't care. I did with the machine. They were very tight, but they go through. The only thing stop them, the tires I put by put them this way, this shape. So because as they live in a community, so they have a leader. So the leader had to get in first. But this tire is very small for the leader. So that's why he cannot get in. And the others, there's no way to get in without him. So this is the only way I find to stop them getting in my farm. So I grow anything now, easy, I have no problems. As you see here, I have drip irrigations, I have water from the spring. Like I have a spring in the town, it's like a nation spring. I run a hose from the spring to my farm, about 350 meters. And I use the gravity because my land is lower than the spring. And I put like a pump there, I pump water to my garden, I irrigate whatever I want, no problems. These things, for who coming for the tour, he will see this farm, how it look like now.
All right. What do you do with your produce? What do you do?
Okay, so mostly I work by myself there. But for winter crops, I grow mostly like wheat, barley, and winter crops. If I have extra product, I give it to I sell it to the farmers, and sometimes I give it for free. If I have a lot of products, I give it for free. And I cover my family with these products. Like this year, cucumbers, tomato, chili, green peppers, onions, chickpeas. I didn't buy. Olives from the farm. Olives, because I have olives there. Figs, they're still young. The fruit trees, they're still like 4 years old. So they're still young. They start producing, like nectarine or fig, they're producing now, or apples. But the others, they're still young. So by the time I'll have more product. So I sell it for the farmers.
What about broad beans? We got a lot of broad beans.
Huh?
We got a lot of broad beans, like
Who?
like fava beans.
Yeah,
We had a lot of those.
yeah. Broad beans, full.
Would you be allowed to farm it in
To do what?
Traps.
How many traps I have to get? How many traps I can find, like to put in the ground? Traps.
What about an electric fence?
It's illegal. Electric fence is illegal. What traps?
You're not allowed to trap the pigs. If they've been, there's a conservation law that says they're not allowed to trap the pigs.
Trap يعني مصيدة يعني؟ how many traps I had to? The hundreds. So
Murad, can we hear what it is?
So with a trap, you have a steel cage, and the pig goes in, and a door comes and closes in, so you shoot the pig, open the trap up.
we don't have guns to shoot.
You haven't got a gun.
We have no guns. It's not allowed to have guns there. It's occupied territory. It's occupied area. We are under occupation. So we have the Israeli military control the area. If they find a knife with you, you go to the jail, not a gun.
Could you use a spear?
Who?
Like an edge weapon, like a knife or a spear.
Maybe I can kill one or two, but we talk about hundreds.
Yeah, but you
It
can
works
keep
really well.
keep setting the trap.
We'll try. We will try. I don't know.
You can start a new pastime.
We can compost them, as Jeff said. We can compost pigs. So
It's a really common practice in New Zealand amongst there's wild pigs all over New Zealand, and that's what a lot of people do. You have to build a really big, solid metal frame cage with really solid netting around it, and you put food in there, and they start coming, and you let them come for a few days, and then you start trapping them and killing them, and you can catch a lot of pigs.
it's hard job, but maybe.
Or in Florida and Texas, real hardcore hunters will hunt with dogs and knives. They'll flush them out with the dogs and then come up behind them with big old hog.
Yeah, here they have special dogs. They catch them on the neck, but we don't have these things. We don't have this kind of dogs.
Times they used to go hunt them with a trident and a net, but that's also how all those ancient heroes got themselves killed.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, I said in the beginning, the Israeli through their law, I did something wrong. So if they saw me or they catch me, like they will find me. So it's this environment for them, especially in our area. Our area is like we have 22 towns with 23 settlements in my area, Salfit districts. So we have a natural zoo. It's something is called Wadi Kana. It's west side of my town. So the whole valley is a natural zoo. So they grow there easy.
The only other suggestion I would have would be dogs. I had a Hungarian sheepdog called Pomodoro, and when he was roaming around guarding, pigs didn't come near. So there might be.
Yeah, I think we need to work on it to find this kind of dogs,
Yeah.
to raise them in the town. But that means every farmer or every town they have to do it.
It would be hot for them, but some kind of dog that would roam at night and hunt.
Yeah.
You have this fences like AHA, which is more like a ditch, and then they can't get a hold of that fence. You know those things? Like it's called AHA.
Fach.
They can climb some
They can climb that steep space.
They can't jump. They can't jump. Like once when I get to my farm in the morning, that day I went late, like at 8 o'clock. So I hear a noise. So when I look from where I walk, I saw like maybe 50 or 60 there. I get crazy. So I jump to the top of the fence, because that's my product. I worked like for 3 months for these things. And they was just lying there, playing, damage everything. So I just jumped between of them. So I find myself between like maybe 50 or 60. So the leader, he ran and he hit the wall, and the wall collapsed. So he opened a way for them. Then he come to me from the other side. So I got busy with him, and the others just get out. But I throw stones at him, but I didn't touch him. I don't know why. He was very close. I got scared because he's like this size. They can't kill me easy. They can't kill me easy. Yeah. Then after everybody left, he just easy went out easy. Yeah. Like 3 months working, gone one night.
What? What? You know,
Murad.
sorry. In Africa, where they can't keep the elephants out, they use chili. Oh, in India as well, they use chilies.
Chile.
They smash the chilies and they paint it on the walls.
this will work with pigs?
We don't know. But it works with elephants.
We lost half of our apple orchards
Was it the pigs?
to the boards.
Yeah. So finish? Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you.